but the team that's the most efficient is still going to beat them. They may not be nowhere near as physicality is concerned close to that team, but they're going to beat them. Why? Because they understand what it is that they need to be doing when they put the blade into the water. Now, I know we want to get in the water, so I'm not going to be that long-winded, but I want you to have this visualization here. This is the stroke, right here. This is how, if you were to look at the stroke in a sense, this is how it works. This is the setup. You can see this arrow's pointing up, meaning this is the time when you're putting the blade in the water. This is your power. This is the draw. Okay? This is when you actually execute. Note here that if this is power, throughout the draw, your power dissipates, no matter how good you are. Whether you start from here, or here, at the moment you initiate your draw, your power declines. The idea is during the draw you're maintaining. It's about where did you grab, how did you grab, will dictate how much of power you actually put in. So think about this as being, this is the $10,000. This is the $10,000 prize. Everything else behind it's $1. You want to grab for $10,000. You want to come up here and set your grab right here. Boom. You grab here, everything else is there. Everything else behind is, you can see, it declines. If you grab up front and you grab with intent and punctuate that grab, and again, you're grabbing, and you make it happen up front, everything else is gravy. And at the same time, as you grab, the natural tendency is that it should feel hard here because your weight is closer to the water. And as you come up and you maintain that blade, keeping it that same plane as you come up, the weight of that blade also gets light because your weight is moving up. You're lifting your weight up, right? Using your hips and all that other good stuff. Make sense so far? We tracking?
Yep.
Okay. So, that being said, how do we grab? Okay, the first thing is we also have to understand is that our bodies, we have to create, there's always the rule of three. You got 3 fixed points. You got the canoe, your body, and the paddle. Then from there, you have your foot, your heel, your hip, and your top hand. Okay, those are 3 fixed points. So in order for us to establish stability in an unstable environment, we have to first understand what are we using the paddle for. Can anyone answer that question? What are we using this paddle for? Yes, you are right. However, we have to grab with our hands, right? We got to grab with our hands first before we activate everything else. You will never hear, and I've never heard anyone say, you got to grab. I mean, they say grab. They say use your hands to activate your hips, your core. And that happens the moment we put that blade in the water, we grab. This is the power. This is the power, grabbing it. Okay, because once you grab, that's it. How much of water can you grab? How much are you grabbing? Okay? Boom. It's not driving down and ripping through the water, because what happens if you see, if I drive down, where does my power come down? It starts right here. And then bip, this is really my stroke at this point. If my shoulder, my top arm is coming up, I collapse, I drive down, and out. Have you ever pulled anything and drove it down at the same time? Drove it literally down with your weight where you're trying to pull something to you? No. That's crazy.
Friction on that.
Right. It's like, okay, if I'm gonna pull my weight, I'm not gonna if I'm gonna try to do a pull-up, I'm not gonna try to pull down the pull-up bar and the 2 stilts that's holding it up down as I'm pulling myself up. I'm using that as a base to get the stability to lift my body up. This is exactly what we're doing. We're essentially doing a pull-up. Every time we put the blade in the water, we gotta grab the bar, do the pull-up, okay? Note that when we grab, our core's tight. We become a rigid part. We become rigid. In order for us to be rigid, first things first, our top lat and our top arm needs to be engaged. So does our bottom lat. Both lats need to be engaged. That's part of the setup. So we're going to talk a lot about the lats and the core. But you got to grab first to activate the lats, and then at that point your heel and your hip become part of the canoe. You then lock yourself up and then you lift using your hips. Your power is not from the kick, because you see how my hip goes away from me? My power is me moving, doing this and then lifting up. I'm using my core. I'm using my hip to come forward like so. Boom. But I have to connect between my leg, my foot, and my hip. Okay? This is the boat. This is my body. This elbow is my hip. I go forward. This is what happens to the boat. It goes forward, right? I come up. My hip kicks up the boat. Boom, boom, boom. In order for that to happen, though, you got to grab for stability, feel your heel, feel your hip, and then go. Okay? If you do what a lot of folks do, they come up and they do like someone's like hitting their cannonball. The curve. Right? I want everybody to do this right now. Just curve in. And then I want you to breathe in through your nose. Try to breathe through your nose curved in. Like literally like someone's hitting you in the stomach. Okay? Now come up and then chest open. Breathe through your nose. Okay? Better, right?
Yeah.
That's 92 octane. Breathing through your nose. When you start getting lactic acid, when you start feeling fatigue, we gotta breathe, right? When we get our heads down, we crunched over, or based on how we initiate the pull, and we cave in and we collapse. We don't breathe anymore. We're literally trying to kill ourselves. We're literally trying to kill ourselves because we're just crunched in. So what we want to do is we want to set up. We want to set the blade. Feel that top lat engage. Grab, grab. We want to grab. Okay, it's not like we've been taught, like I've been taught years and years ago. It's grab, grab, grab. Once I grab, my lats are completely on fire. They're firing off, and that's the signal to say, okay, hips, you're heel. I'm not kicking the boat because I don't want my hips to go away from me. I'm loading in my leg, feeling it, and then getting that leg drive to incorporate my hips. This. Boom. Boom. Because we want, as my hip goes forward, that boat goes the same direction. Boom. Boom. Peckers up. Yeah? Remember that? So that again, idea of your body moving here and your hip shooting forward, which is connected to the boat along with your foot and your heel, but the power comes from the hips. It doesn't. So don't, and a lot of folks have done, they mistaken leg drive as kick the boat. You don't want to kick the boat. It feels strong, but what happens when you kick the boat shudders. And when it shudders, that's when you just, all that beautiful power you just did, it just, for a half second, goes away. Okay? And when we're talking about a half second over a 12-mile race, that's time being lost, right? So today we're going to talk about just that, biomechanics. Eventually we're going to talk about how that grab, if you get that good hard grab and it's slow in the water, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. If you're slow in the water, you'll have a faster recovery, just by nature. Now if you start your power here, somewhere in the middle of your draw, like your shoulders coming up and then you collapse, and then you come up and you're basically, everything's happening in the back of your stroke, you're feeling power at the back end, you're gonna rip through the water and then you're gonna have a slow recovery. It just, and if you were told to do a faster recovery, you're gonna be miserable. Because now you're fast. You're like, you're not gonna have a recovery, right? So the idea is, get that blade in the water and breathe at the pull, okay? So that's another thing. We'll talk about breathing at some point. You don't want to breathe one-to-one. You don't want for either one. But the idea is you want to get your breath during the pull. You want to, because that opens up your chest. You end up incorporating diaphragmatic breathing. You're breathing through your stomach, and then it gets you up, right? So what I tend to do is, and then I blow out I do one stroke in, and then 2 to 3 strokes out. that gives me my rhythm. And when I start feeling things here, 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 by breathing in through your nose and the pull, it activates your core, it resets you, okay? So when you start feeling things in your lower back, you start feeling things in your shoulder, best thing to do at the first thing you start feeling that, breathe. Breathe through your nose. Breathe on the pull. Open up, get that oxygen in. It'll cognitively fire your synapses in your brain housing group, and it'll get you back to, oh yeah, okay, I'm collapsing, I'm not breathing, I'm not incorporating my core, I'm not being rigid, I'm not being a fixed point at the point where I put the blade in the water. Feeling my core. I want you to, every time when you put the blade in the water today, gents, like someone's gonna punch you in the stomach, and then come back up. That's gonna protect your lower back, that's gonna protect your shoulders, and at the same time, that's gonna help you engage from your heel to your hip. And again, the concept of reach, you can only reach as far as your feet allow you to, okay? If I was sitting in the one-man, that's as far as I could go. I could reach, but now I'm disconnected. See how the blade comes up higher? If I throw my body up, my blade is higher than it needs to be. So what I'm just doing is I'm reaching what it's natural for me, okay? I'm not rotating. Now if I rotate, look how even higher the blade is. Yeah? Then I gotta go, it goes, and that is an excessive movement. And when we talk about the team that finishes first is less fatigued or less tired, is because they're not doing excessive movement. They're getting to the point from here to here. Like a locomotive, right? And the blade, the face of the blade, when it gets placed in, it stays here. So think of it like a pendulum. Boom, right? Your body acts as a metronome, your blade acts as a pendulum. Body's moving forward, and then it comes back. Pretty much stays in the same place. Now, when our bodies come up, if you pull with your bottom arm, so you pull with your core. Remember, pull, grab, 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 grab. It's grabbing. It's not, and then, screw that noise. You know? And that's the thing. That's how I found myself I got better in my paddling. I got better in my own man. And I was able to start, people are like, whoa, where do you come from? Because I wasn't killing myself anymore. I was like, yeah, now I know what you guys have been not telling me. Right? And you guys saw it. But you'll go to any clinic. Danny Ching, Will Rockenstein, anyway, they'll say grab the water. They won't tell you to grab with the water with the hands. They'll just say put the blade in the water, because it's implied. It's thought. They may not even know it. That you gotta grab with your hands first. We have this blade is our third hand. If I told you right now to grab water with your hands, how would you do it? Right? How about that? How about that? Right? It's the same thing, but now we got a blade. Now, if I said you can't do it with the blade, you go do that. You're gonna be miserable, right? You're like, But the idea is now we're using this blade to act as that translator, right? It translates. This is translating what we want the canoe to do when it's on the water. The canoe and the water are two separate entities. This is your translator. And if you're in a foreign country, and when I was in the Marine Corps, you wanted your translator to be on point, right? So the idea is, again, make sure that you translate well. And the best way to translate that is being patient up front, setting the blade in the water, and then go. Think of it, one last analogy, and then when we get the boats down, is we've seen those workout guys, those freaking muscle heads that they grab they do those pull-ups, right, where they pull out the stake and they plank it in and then they come up, right, and they do that, and then they pull. That's the same thing what we're doing. You gotta lock it in first, then pull. Okay. So in order to make sure you do that, when you sit down and you grab, you tackle that grab, right? The act of moving your body forward is to put the blade in the water. It's not, it's definitely not, okay? It's simply moving your body forward and grabbing. Moving your body and grabbing. If I could get a bunch of retired soccer moms to do this on a dragon boat, and beat a bunch of college girls, I could get a bunch of hard-charging studs like yourself to do the same. Okay?
We'll get that right.
All right, but the idea again too, remember gents, when we grab, try to keep your shoulders packed. Don't get yourself, again, where your elbows out, create that this. If you're gonna reach, I'm gonna quote Will Reichenstein here, when you reach out for a beer, we don't reach out for a beer like this, right? Hey, give me a beer, I'm gonna grab that beer. Right, we grab the beer like this. But in this instance, with the top hand, we're just gonna do that because we have to, right? So again, think about keeping that elbow from flaring out. And that's gonna help protect your shoulder, and it's gonna help protect your lower back. Because the first thing that goes when you do too much movement, your shoulder gets up, your shoulder goes out, and it says, it doesn't go to the rest of us, the shoulder's like, hey, lower back, I need help, and the lower back's still stupid enough, I got you. And next thing you know, you have both areas here, your shoulder and your lower back in pain, and your core's like, I ain't even working today, I guess I have the day off. You know? So, any questions?
So